Hey everyone, it's Dr. Nimira. I wanted to check in with you today because I was having some thoughts in my head while I was getting some paperwork done about the resting room. I know that many times you guys have heard about the resting room. You may have heard me talk about using the resting room. And that's the resting room where we actually rest, not go to the restroom. But people have talked about the amazing chairs in the resting room, all these things that you may have heard of, but you don't really know what they're for, especially if you've never experienced them because you've been to a traditional chiropractor, or you've never been to chiropractor, or you've just never had a chance to experience upper cervical chiropractic. So I wanted to check in today, and for those of you who've seen my space, you'll learn more about what the resting room is all about, but also for patients who may not have actually really understood what the purpose was, it might help you get a better understanding of why we use it, why it's so important and part of the care, and what you can do while you're resting in it. So I know there's some people who love this space. I mean, not many people get to have grown-up nap time in the middle of the day, and that's amazing to me how so many people can actually fall asleep in the first 15 minutes. I come in here after 15 minutes sometimes and I have to wake people up, which is fabulous because it tells me you're finally getting some rest that you probably really needed. But then I have people who have a really hard time resting in the middle of the day, and they tend to fidget or get a little frustrated because they're not really sure what they're doing in here. As well as the thoughts that might cross into their mind about, well, I could be doing this at home and I don't really have time in my schedule for this, and why am I napping in the middle of an office? And there's many thoughts that could be crossing into your mind. So I wanted to share with you some of the purposes, because there's actually multiple things that happen in here, and that's some of the things that I potentially can forget to share with the patient. And my bad, I'm really sorry, but I'm doing it now. But I really want you to know the importance of it. So let's see if I can share with you just a little visual of what the room looks like. This is usually in the dark, but I have it in the light today so you can see it. So we have some really great zero gravity chairs from Human Touch. I have some really nice music that's usually playing. I have those amazingly cozy blankets that everybody loves. And then I have some salt lamps, and I have a diffuser that's usually got lemon and lavender going in here. So it's a really nice, calm, resting space. And so what is it for, and what are we supposed to be doing? So there's multiple purposes, okay? And this is why we can't do it at home. But when you walk into an office, really anywhere, including mine, most of us actually live in what we call our sympathetic state of being, or our fight or flight or stress response, because we're go, 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 and we have lots of things to do. And in our stress response, our body always tends to look not so hot. And so our initial scan that we do at the office is really just to see kind of what you look like as a baseline in your everyday life. But it's really important not to make a judgment of what you need based off of your stress response. And so there's this great Chinese proverb that I will eventually have up in the resting room, and it's called, tension is who you think you should be, and relaxation is who you are. So it's important to make sure that we don't check a person and see what their body is capable of doing until we're doing it from a place of rest, because that really gets us the best and most objective results on if we really need to make an adjustment, or if we need to leave it alone and let the body try and take care of itself, which is really what it was designed to do. So having people come into the resting room for 15 minutes allows their body to try and have that time to come out of their sympathetic stress response and into their parasympathetic rest and healing response. And so many times after 15 minutes, I'll actually see a patient scan, calm down, and their legs balance out, and all these things that you didn't really think your body was capable of doing when all it really needed was some rest. And so it's really important to not make an adjustment at that point in time, because then we're actually allowing the body to take care of itself and push itself to do that on its own instead of interfering with an adjustment. So that's the first part. That 15 minutes is super important for me to make an objective decision on if you truly need that adjustment or not. The next part that happens in the resting room is the post-rest period. So if you do need an adjustment, it's really important to come in and get rest in the resting room, because the body needs that time to actually settle down and accept the adjustment. So if you get this really quick adjustment and then you go off on your everyday life and you get back into your stress response, you're actually not giving it a chance to accept the adjustment and then go through that slight little bit of healing process that might happen in that little bit of time that you get before you walk out the door. So the resting after the adjustment actually keeps your body in that parasympathetic state, your resting state and healing state, to allow your body to actually make some changes and learn where it really needs to be. So those are the two big things that happen in the pre-rest state and then the post-rest state. So I have some people who know exactly what they need to be doing when they're doing here, because the other thing you need to know is what should you be doing while you're in the resting room. And so the thing you should be doing is resting. For those of you who have a really easy time, it's very easy and you kind of wonder what other people are doing and why they're fidgeting. I have many people who fall asleep in the 15 minutes, and then I have many people who fall asleep in the 30 to 40 minutes, but there's some of you that just can't sleep in the middle of the day. And so then my recommendation for you is this. It's to really sit there in a state of calm, because you can't be on your phone. If you're on your phone and reading or doing all those things and you're using all those muscles and you're not letting them relax. What I really want you to do is visualize. I want you to visualize a time back when you didn't have the issues that you have now. Maybe you get chronic headaches, maybe you have shoulder pain or back pain or neck pain. I want you to go back to that time where you didn't have those. And I want you to imagine what life could be like again and all the things that you might be able to do again if you were back in that place. And if you don't remember a time when you weren't in pain because it's been so long ago, I want you to really think about the future and where you could go and what life could be like after this. Because the cool thing is, when your body gets to go into that state of healing, you want to be able to visualize and tell your body exactly what you want, so it might be able to help you get there faster. So I hope you got a little bit of information about the resting suite today and that you were able to learn something new. And if you want to be able to experience this or even learn a little bit more about upper cervical care and how it's so different from traditional chiropractic care, for us to be able to use the technology to read your body and how it's working and then give you the least amount of adjustment so you can get the best results, I'd love to have a conversation. So please do give me a call if you'd like to have a conversation. I'm really easy to get a hold of by phone or text or email. I'd love to make it easy for you to be able to live the life that you desire. Have a lovely rest of your day and take care. Bye-bye.